the globalists, what they want to do is to level or snuff out kind of the local particularisms of any kind.
That's right. That's right. And you see, here's the terrible thing for Americans when they realize it, which is not yet. There will come a time, shortly, when laws affecting their salaries, the place they live, their housing, their taxes, their travels, their family, will be made by non-Americans.
Isn't this actually the issue that got Margaret Thatcher so furious towards the end of her rule as Prime Minister? The fact that more and more British sovereignty was passing into the hands of the European Union.
Was being eroded and passed on with the European Union. That's what now makes the big opposition in Britain. They know that when they enter the European Union, when they have monetary union in 1999, that is the end of Britain as they know it. So much so, Bernard, I think there's going to be big resistance to this European Union at the last moment. They may have to enter it, and they may go under, be submerged, and it'll be the end of England as we have known it. But to revert to the situation with the New World Order, Americans will find this out too late, and they can't do anything about it. What can we do when the laws are made by others? And, for instance, the NAFTA agreement affects jobs here. Can we do anything about it? No, sir. And the World Trade Organization, of which we're signatories, are going to make laws about world trade that will affect our jobs and our money and our dollar and our salaries. We can't do anything about it. We are caught in it. There's no escaping this. We're in the New World Order. Now, here's the point. Do you remember we spoke about the advances in the medical field, the health field, and the development of abortion and contraception as a means of accustoming people to another way of looking at the human body and the development of the human frame, and finally the goal of having the subhuman culture? That's all part of the same system. Create a paradise on earth for the elite. Period.
Now, the argument has been that what we would have is a global economy, but that culture would be decided locally. But when I, let's say, pick up the papers and read, let's say, about your home country of Ireland,
right,
it seems like the same pressure is causing the Irish culture to break down. They now are passing laws opening up abortion and divorce.
Absolutely. And it's that. And the culture is, the ancient culture, the Christian culture, is being eroded. There's no doubt about that. It's being eroded. For instance, there's a thing called river dance. I don't know if you've seen it. It's the Irish dance. And it's the first time the Irish have produced something which has no religious aspect. It's based on myth, and it's based on pagan myth, and it's based on pagan belief. But if you haven't come across it, it's something else. So the culture is being eroded and replaced with this new culture.
But doesn't this new culture kind of create what you had very much in the Soviet Union, kind of a drabness?
Of course it does. Of course it does. And people are getting bored with it. There are more suicides, and people are revolting against it. But we can't do anything about it, Bernard. Whether we like it or not, we're walking into it. And we're going to be subjected to the same godless, sometimes pornographic, television and amusement. There'll be no mention of God. There'll be no mention of eternal life. There's no mention of religion. That's the transcendent view that's excluded from the public square in America, according to the Supreme Court. And that's the New World Order. Now, what's going to happen? Well, is it going to go hunky-dory like that, and will we finally find ourselves faced with the faceless state government making laws that we can't disobey, and that confine us and really erode our religion? No, it won't go like that. It will not go through, because we have a solemn promise that God so loved this world that he sent his only begotten Son in order to save it. And we have also the promises of Our Lady, and several big occasions at La Salette in France in 1846, because we're an old religion, and at Fatima in 1917, and at Garabandal in 1963. Those three alone tell us that God is going to step in and chastise this world and punish it for killing 500 million babies a year, and for oppressing and for shedding of blood and for starving people and inciting wars, and finally destroying the innocence of youth with pornography. God's going to step in, and step in soon. And nobody that I know of any stature at all in the church today or in religion thinks it's going to come in 200 years' time. It's around the corner. It's coming fast.
Now, is this why, and you talked about this, I think that was the very first scene in Windswept House in 1957, when the dignitaries of the six first countries of the, at that time it was the European Economic Community, met with the Pope, that the Pope, Pius XII, foresaw that they would have their day, but it would only be a day.